young, forever young, I'd give my soul.
Hello and welcome to my channel Musical Picture. Thanks for dropping by. I'd like to take this moment, if I may, just to say a special thank you to all of you who have subscribed to this channel. It really is an amazing way to support this crazy journey that I'm going on. So let's talk about that crazy journey, eh? Let me give you my 7-second sales pitch. Are you ready? I wrote a rock opera with Oscar Wilde. And it's true, I did. The Picture of Dorian Gray is my favourite book. And what I did is take Oscar Wilde's own words and set them to music. So it's, I suppose, a musical interpretation of The Picture of Dorian Gray. And what I call my version, my musical version, is The Musical Picture of Dorian Gray. So, if we rewind the clock just a little bit, I met somebody called Jeff Ling, and he wrote Jeff Wayne's musical version of The War of the Worlds. He actually signed me to his record company and he produced my first album. And it was a life-changing experience, really, honestly. He had all of the gold records that record had ever made. I mean, it's been in the top 25 bestsellers for something like 40 years. I mean, talk about a piece of rock music history, eh? So I was exposed to how he wrote that and how he produced that piece of music, that record. And he told me stories. I saw the book, the H.G. Wells book, with the notations in it that created the libretto for that work. He told me the story of how he got the most famous man on the planet at that time to record with him. Wow, and it was such an inspirational thing. And he paid for the whole thing himself. The session players, they jammed, recorded their work. Back then, it was on tape. Now it's all done digitally. Now I'm really lucky because I have my own studio here at home. So I've been thinking, well, if he can do it, then so can I. Yeah. Yeah. If he can do it, so can I. Yeah. How am I going to go about doing that? Well, I went to university, and I trained as a classical composer and classical singing as well. And when I did my master's degree, I decided to take my rock and popular background and see if I could write a large-scale work with everything that I had learned at uni. And I wrote the first version of my musical picture of Dorian Gray. I was really lucky when I left uni and I started to make it immediately. I got a celebrity drummer in who recorded the first scene, and I worked with some local guitarists, and I was really lucky. I know a few people, so I got some feedback, and one of the feedbacks that I got from a really well-known guy was that I had made a really great audio book and there wasn't any real songs on it. So I thought, that's not right. And I pulled every single song out. There were 11 songs, and I made a secondary product, the compilation album. And I did this to prove that actually, yeah, there are songs in it. But I think perhaps one of the mistakes that I made in my first draft is that I had decided not to present the songs in the traditional way that a musical would present the songs. So the songs aren't presented as just, here you go, here's a song, we're going to stop and expand the moment. So I had chopped the songs up. It was kind of, I suppose, more like a prog rock approach where it starts and evolves as the story's being told. So having had a tiny rethink, I think that perhaps the best way is to do it in that more traditional musical format. and do the song. So we're going to stop, here's the song. That was one decision that I had made. The other decision was that there was too much talking, so I've decided to take the narration out, which is a real shame, because the guy who came in and did the narration is on YouTube. He's on a really well-known channel called Lindy Beige. Go check him out. He's really good, and his voice is gorgeous as well. But I'm taking him out of my rock opera, and what I'm going to do is all of the moving the story forward that was narrated is now going to be sung. So that's a challenge and a half. It's not going to go quick. The other really challenging issue is that I'm singing the whole thing myself at the moment. Why? Well, to be honest, to actually just try and get the goddamn thing recorded so I can say, listen, I've written this rock opera, take a listen. Problems. One, I am singing the whole thing myself. It's not in the original key because I'm a girl. I can't sing in a male thing. So it's not in the original key. And I'm absolutely I'm a terrible music producer. Really, I am. So you're going to get a version of the rock opera, but it isn't going to be the way it's going to end up. What I'd like is it to be a rock opera. What I mean is I would like it to be a guitar-based opera. So what I need are great guitar players. I am not a good guitarist, not by any standard. So I need to find people who've got great skill and great talent. I do have my eye on a couple of great guitarists. So Jeff Ling is from a band in Australia called Parkway Drive. He's a really melodic guitarist, and I'm a melodic composer. Where I come from to articulate, why are you writing songs? Well, I write songs because I like melody, and I would like to give you a melody that maybe you will sing as you're walking down the street or doing the dishes or driving in your car. And I think Jeff Ling, his guitar work in Parkway Drive, is really similar to that. So I think that he could bring some amazing sort of raw passion to my rock opera with his playing. So if you know Jeff Ling, ask him if you would be interested in playing on my rock opera, because I think it would benefit greatly from him. Not the whole thing, just a scene, maybe a song. There are 14 scenes. I'm going to go scene by scene. Other guitarists. I really, really like Jerry Cantrell from Alice in Chains. Now, what does he bring? Well, he brings mood, and he brings a feeling. There are sections in the second half of my rock opera that I think he would be amazing in. One of the songs, called Save Me, begins with major chords and minor chords, but as the second verses and the third verses, the chords contract to diminished. So you don't get your perfect fifth, you get a tritone to indicate sort of evil. And it's when Dorian Gray is convincing somebody to cover up the murder that he's just committed. So I think Jerry Cantrell would be amazing there. One of my favourite guitarists in the last two albums I've heard him do is Ritchie Faulkner from Judas Priest. My God, what a guitarist that man is. He must have flames coming off his fingertips, I tell you, when you've listened to the last album. Good Lord. It's the fastest thing I've ever heard. But man, that man can play, and when he does his solos, they're full of melody. So that's the common theme. I'm looking for guitarists with great melody, great passion, great emotion. So if you know Jeff Ling, Jerry Cantrell, Ritchie Faulkner, please send them in my direction. And Let's work out how much it's going to cost to get them on this record. But it has to be finished first. So, where are we? Well, I'm in the process of recording it myself. Like I say, I'm not a very good rock producer. I'm a terrible producer. So if you know a great rock producer who could take my ideas and my melodies with these amazing musicians and turn out something fantastic that we could go on to call a piece of rock music history, please do send them my way. My goodness, I'm not asking for a lot, am I? Well, you know, think big. If you get halfway there, I sometimes think that I'm going to be this 70-year-old lady with jam jar glasses still trying to read the sheet music and going, what's going on? As I'm still trying to get to the end of it. I hope I'm not 70 when I finish it, but I do feel like that might be the way it's going. The biggest block is life. I am a single mom. It's just me and my little boy. I don't have any parents to help me with my little man. And I would prefer to be self-employed because I think it gives you more flexibility, but there's not much support for single moms, so I have to go out and work. So I'm working, doing the mom thing, and desperately trying to get on with this rock opera all at the same time. So it's taking a while, but hopefully we're going to get there. I need a bit of hope in my life, the hope that I can achieve something that's pretty hard. And it is hard, but I don't want to be the person that had this great idea but decided it was too difficult to do. I want to be the person that thinks, well, I've got this great idea. I think the melodies are okay. And I'm going to give it a go and tackle every obstacle as it comes my way. I'd rather be that person who's living with the hope than the person who has no hope. So, I hope that if you have a dream too, that you pursue it with the same level of determination, I suppose. Because it's hope. Hope drives us. We live in a world with so much fear that I think hope is the most important thing we can foster in ourselves and with each other. So please do leave a like. Please do leave a comment. Let's talk. Tell me what your dreams are. Tell me what your hopes are. And if I can help you to get where you're going, and you can help me to get where I'm going, then we can walk our paths together. That's what I'd like most in the world, to be part of a community that supports each other and helps each other get where we want to go, no matter how crazy our dreams might sound. So, thank you for being here. Thank you for listening to this video, and thank you for subscribing to this channel. I hope that I can show you that even though this dream sounds a little bit mad, that if we work really hard, we can get where we're going if we work toward it. So, fingers crossed. Anyway, that's it from me. Thanks ever so much for staying to the end of the video. I hope you can find something in my channel that keeps you wanting to be part of this journey and walk it with me. That would be great. So until next time, live life. Bye for now.
Dorian Gray dug the knife into the great vein that is behind the ear, crushing Basil Hallward's head